Okay.
So this is a painting that I painted some time ago, and I'm going to do another ocean pour, but I am going to make it a little bit different than this one because I think it'll be brighter and prettier colors. So when you want to do an ocean pour, you're going to do it with blues and greens primarily, and white. And so this is another painting I did some time ago, and I like this effect because it looks like waves, and so I'm going to work with that idea of not covering the whole canvas with the paint, but letting some of it be free. And I added more white in later because I wanted this to have lots of ability to fan out with an air compressor. So that's what I'm aiming for. And so what I'm going to do now is just show you what I'm going to do with the mix. This is Sax paint, and I'm using this blue. This is called phthalo blue, and this is chrome yellow. This is emerald green. This is burnt umber, and I have some mediums here. I'm going to spray my cups with the lubricant, but the spray lubricant, what it does is it gives you little cells. And so I want to create little cells. And if I spray the bottom of the cup, then the paint won't stick it. I won't be losing all my pretty colors in the cup. So I'm going to also be using GAC 800. I always use a squirt of this in every cup, in every color I should say, because it keeps it from crazing. I didn't know what crazing was when I started this, and now I know crazing means that you are your paint is going to peel off. Can you see through that to see where it's going? Okay. So my husband's photographing this for me, and hopefully it'll all turn out great. So I'm also using coconut milk. As you can see that I've used quite a bit of it. It's clear down to here. And I like a good squirt of it. I'm sometimes using treadmill, and I oftentimes think these two are pretty much the same thing. This is a lot cheaper. I bought this at Sally Beauty Supply, but this you can get at a hardware store anywhere. And this you have to go to Michael's or any art store will have it, and you can get this at any hardware store as well. And so I'm going to start out by creating some blues. I want more than one color of blue because I don't want it to be boring. And so I've already mixed some of these with water, and so I've stored it in the bottle because it's just a nice place to store it because then it doesn't get lumpy. And so I'm looking for more than one blue. Okay. So I'm not worried about mixing blue with white because that's going to happen anyway, because I'm going to put white around my cup. When I pour everything in here and I turn upside down, then I'm going to put white all around it. And so I don't need to put white in this, otherwise it's too diluted and it's too light. So what I want to do is I want to add a touch of bright red, and I might have some more of this already open. Oh, I think I like red. I must have used it. Alright, so I'm opening a new can, new bottle. And you can get this on Amazon for 40 bottles for, how much was it, Ron?
16 bottles for $40.
Oh, there it is. 16 bottles for $40. Well, it's really nice because you get lots of colors. You get all your primary colors. And then they get some secondary colors in there, but mostly primaries. So I'm going to just mix a little red in that. Ooh, that was quite a bit. Must have lost the lid for that. Where'd the lid go? And I'm going to also add water, because you have to have water. And so now I'm going to add some of these other things. The coconut milk. I'm going to add a blast that, a squirt of this. Woo-hoo. That was plenty. Okay, and I'm going to mix it up. We want the consistency of light cream. And you can see it's got a beautiful, intense color. Because I added some red in there and it's just intense. Which I love, love, love. Oh, I gotta get an apron on. Or I'm gonna ruin my outfit. How many painting clothes do you have? I have a bunch of painting clothes. Okay, I'm going to put on my apron. The wrong side out so you can't see how painted it is. One side is painted terribly. Okay. So I've got this beautiful dark blue. I think I'll probably have to add some more water. And I also am going to use this Owatrol. I forgot about my Owatrol. I use this instead of my Floetrol because one day I peeled back the label that was on the front like this. I peeled it back and read it, and it had lead in it. And I was wondering why my memory was just going away, my long-term memory. I couldn't remember things I already knew, and I knew for years. And so it was very, very frightening to realize I was losing my memory. I thought, I'm either getting Alzheimer's or something's going on. And so I started looking around, and sure enough, that stuff was not good. It had lead in it. And I was surprised to find out that's not the only product they put out there that has lead in it. Now this looks like it's turning white, because it is turning a lighter color, but Owatrol is not going to permanently change your color to a lighter color. So I'm going to have to pour some of this out because it's too thick. I'm going to have to water it down. So the hardest trick to do is learning how thick to make things. You don't always mix it down to a light cream consistency. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want it thick. And that's when you get a different effect. I'm not looking for that effect right now. I'm looking for it to look like water. And so you can see you see into that?
Oh yeah.
How dark that is. And see, it's just lumpy. You don't want any lumps in there because lumps create problems. I'm using these little Dixie cups and they're not very strong. And I can feel the thing just falling apart in my hand. And if it gets too flimsy, I'll just put it into another cup to stabilize it. But what I think I'm primarily seeing is bubbles from the silicone. And this is silicone. Alright, so I'm going to say that's mixed good enough. And I'm going to mix this one. I'm going to add some yellow to this one. Do I want yellow? I don't know. I guess. You know what yellow's going to give me, right? Yellow and blue make green. I don't typically like green out of the bottle. Do you know why green out of the bottle is bad? Because it looks unnatural. There is no green in nature like that green. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to mix it. It's so pretty. Oh, I gotta get my Owatrol in there. My other good stuff. So about half paint and half Owatrol is what we're going for. Owatrol just makes your paint move, and that's why we use it. That's my GAC 800. That's my squirt silicone, coconut oil. That should be good. Yeah, that's going to be a nice color. That's going to be real pretty. Real pretty. It's too thick. It's got to be runny. It's got to be pretty runny. And it takes time to mix these things. And then when you come back and you look at it again and see what the consistency is, it'll be thick again. Because they'll be thickened up while you're doing other things. So try and make them a little on the thin side to begin with. Because they will thicken up. Well, I absolutely love this color here. It's so pretty. And this one, did I go which one on that? I don't think I did. That's the problem, I forget what I did. Alright, so I don't think I have anything in that. Jack. Alright, so it's a different blue than the other blue is. It's a different blue, and that's what I'm looking for. Different blue. It's pretty thick. So I'm going to be mixing some lighter green because I don't want just that green, that wouldn't be enough. So I'm going to take half of that and pour it in here. And I can tell that there's things in here because I can see it bubbling, so I know I added stuff to it. I'm going to add some yellow to it to give me a lighter green. Water. Might add a little bit more stuff just to make sure it's good. Alright. That's pretty. Aha. More water. As you can see, we add a lot of water to these things. Tempted to add black, but I don't think I will. It's really not hard to do an ocean scene. It's not at all hard to do an ocean scene. I got out this brown for a specific reason, because I wanted to add, it's actually burnt umber, I was going to add that to, I don't know if I will. I'll leave it out. Alright, and so I'm going to put those away. Now I'm going to mix up some white. I might have white already mixed because I just take it out of the gallons of paint, the can of paint that already is mixed. White. So I like to have a lot of white on the side that's mixed. I find that house paint is perfectly fine for this application. This is a house paint I got at Home Depot, and it was like $10 because it was being phased out because I think it was getting old. So what happens when paint gets old is it gets thick. Well, that's okay, because we can thin it down. That's not really a problem if it gets thick. Don't want that chunk in there. There we go. So the question would be, do you add those chemicals to your white? Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. In this case, I don't know that I will. Alright, so here, I'll go ahead and put Otrol in it. And I'm going to need a lot of white. A lot of water I need. I'm going to have a ton of water in there. It's probably going to be what I need. White. Notice that I'm using a knife that you use for oils. I like it better than the stir stick because you don't have to wash it off. You can just wipe it down pretty easily with a cloth. And it's less wasteful. So I'm really going to great lengths to make sure that I get a nice thin white. Might be a little too thin. A little too thin. Huh. Am I crazy in there? Stuff in my Gaki 100. I'm going to put trim light in this one. Yeah. Alright, so it started out really, really, really thin. Started out really thick, then it went really thin. And now it's like water. It's really thin. Maybe too thin. I'm going to add a little more good stuff to it. I was going to just fast forward and not make you watch this stuff because it's boring. But now you got to see it. Sometimes it's good to see it. And so we're always learning from each other. I watched lots of other flow artists doing these things. And it's fun to watch. Because we all have ideas. And so what I want to do is get that wave action going on some white. So I'm not going to cover the whole canvas. That gives me the freedom to have a lot more fun. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing the pores. I almost would really like to have some yellow in there. Yellow? Okay, maybe not. Yes, I'm going to do some yellow. Okay. I want this painting to be more dynamic than the last painting was. And because I'm going darker with my colors, I can get that. So it's going to be more interesting by far. And you can see that this is still really thin. Too thin. I'm going to have to put some more paint in that. More paint. So right now I'm running out of places to put things. So I'm going to dump some of that in there. That's okay. That'll work. All right. Actually, I think half the fun is just mixing this stuff. Because this is the planning stage, and it's going to tell you if what you're doing is going to work or not. So it's the planning stage. I'm not going to use all my white when I mix it into the cup that I mix all my other colors into, because I'm going to put white around the outsides, because it creates this ability to move the paint. It's still really thin, and I don't care. Alright, and so I'm going to mix up this white. I'm in this white with this yellow, and it's going to be really earthy. In the ocean, there's seaweed growing. It comes out looking like seaweed. Alright, and so here I am. Oh, that's awfully thick. I better put some water in there. I'm going to run and get some more water. thing down. So when it's really heavy, it'll sit on the bottom. When it's lighter, it'll go to the top of your canvas. So that's good to know that. It's still pretty heavy. I like this particular bottle. I got this, I think, at the beauty supply. Sally Beauty Supply. It was cheap. So it's nice. It's still thick. Seems to work just right for this kind of thing, because it really gives me a decent squirt. I'm not sitting around waiting. So again, I'm going to check the consistency. See how thick it got? So again, I have to add more water. Yeah, and it's about to flow over the top. So here we go. I'm going to have fun. Still thick. I don't like it that thick. No. I'm just going to go ahead and mix that. I don't know, did I put Otrol in that one?
Yeah, you did.
I don't think so. I better put some Otrol in that. Oh, it's so much fun to look at these. The colors that are popping up and the cells that are popping up. It's really cool. Look, can you see that? Is that neat? It's working. We love this kind of thing. I first started watching all these dirty pours. For a long time I watched everybody else. Then I got excited, and after 3 months of watching everybody, I just started doing it, and it was fun, and everything was turning out great. And every project you learn something new, and so it's just fun to see what happens. And then people say, well, how'd you do it? And every painting is different, you know. Every technique you do, there's lots of techniques you do that make it really cool. See how thick that is? Just a little more water. I'm going to pour it in now. Ooh. So I pour it from pretty high because I really want I want it to mix in the cup. And I decided I'm not going to do this thing on the outside where you go like this to mix it up, because I discovered it's already mixed up enough with the way I do it. I'm not too concerned about mixing my colors. Because they're just going to have fun. Those colors are going to have fun. Alright, I'm going to do another yellow. Okay, and so I feel at this point I should have been putting some white in there. So I'll put a lot of white. How's that? Whoa, that's tons of white. And look what it's doing. Is that neat? Can you see? Are you happy when you see those colors? I am. I'm happy when I see those colors. This last Christmas, actually January, we went to the Caribbean, and it was so much fun. We swam in the ocean in January. It was so much fun. I thought nobody swims in the ocean in January. Not where I come from. I've never had the ocean. So it's really exciting when you get access to the ocean for the first time in your life. You go crazy. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's a lot of fun. If you ever get the chance, you should do it. So I'm just emptying out my cups. Blues and greens, basically, with white and yellow. The yellow I'm excited about. Alright, and so here I am. I'm going to come down here and take off these shoes so I can burn them. This is where it gets tricky. I have this square piece of stiff paper so that I can put my paint on there, and then I can bring it over here, and I can do this. Oh my gosh, is that pretty? Okay, cool. So now you know I have to have the white up there at the top. Yeah, that's really pretty. Uh-huh.
Lord.
Yeah. I don't really want to waste any white because I'm going to need a lot of it. Okay. Okay. Now you can see already what it's doing. I'm just going, wow, cool. Okay, so I'm going to get the paintbrush. I like to do this ahead of time before I do anything else. I can get a pretty good sizable paintbrush. And just take the white and get it to go somewhere so that you can get your paint to mix. I didn't want paint in my brush. I did not want paint in my brush. Green paint. Now you can see I put the chemicals in the white. So the white is bubbling. And so it's going to create a lot of white cells because I did that. So I'm just basically spreading it around. It's very thick and thin. The consistency is thin, but I'm putting a lot of it on because I really want my paint to move. Okay, that'll be fun. That's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be really pretty. So here we go. Ouch. So I think I'll empty the rest of that out of my cup. Okay, so now I have to put some heat on it. Put some heat on it. It's going to pop the bubbles. Pretty, pretty. There's no sense in wiping my hands off because they're going to get more paint. A lot more paint. Alright, so I'm going to move it. See how fast it moves? That's because it's thin. Oh, looky there. I like that wave action. Uh-huh. That's going to be perfect. That's going to be perfect. Perfect. I'm going to take it down here.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. We're filming it. Oh, I lost my wave. I lost my wave, son. Sometimes you just have to pour things off the canvas. Oh well. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put on the blow dryer. What do you think, son?
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be pretty. I'm going to put on my air compressor. I mean, not blow dryer. Air compressor. I think that's beautiful. Yes, I'm going to have fun with that. Alright, so here we are. The air compressor. All I need is some air. Bring it over here. Oh, the better the trip on it, right? Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty one. So I want to blow those waves out. Ooh, got some red in there. Cool! I'm going to have some more fun. I got to do some more here. Oy, ay, ay. Absolutely wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. Well, what do we do? I think that's good. I think I like that. A little more up here. I think that's good. I'm going to leave it. And there it is. So we'll let it dry. I might put that. I might put that heat gun on it again. There it is. I'm just going to do the sides to make sure they're all covered because you don't want white sides. I'm just going to take some of this and throw it over here. Yeah, I think that's all I have to do. That looks good. Okay, we're done.